Hello everyone. It's James again. And today, I want to talk about a comment, or comments that were recently left on one of my past videos entitled, What Are Narcissists Really Thinking Part 2? And I will leave a link for it in the description box below, for any of you that are interested to check this video out. Anyways, the comments that were left by one of my subscribers basically states that narcissists and other toxic types do go after really strong types that are unique, such as they are smart, attractive, and strong on character. And to that statement I would say, yes, that is correct. Even though generally narcissists, just like any predator, will do the bump and bite, or check to see if you're weak and pose any threat. And if they see that you are weak and you are a past victim of abuse, oh yes, they will pounce, because you are an easy meal. And narcissists, just like any real predator, like to attack with having minimal damage done to themselves, for the most maximum gain with what they are setting to accomplish. And that's destroying their prey and extracting narcissistic supply. But something interesting happens to narcissists and other toxic types, or at least for some of them, when they get good at lying and pulling one over on this person and that person. They learn from their past mistakes, and make almost a flawless game of lies to get what they want. Because remember, narcissists are like Terminator robots. They are learning computers. And with every interaction, with every experience, they put this into their data storage to be called upon to use in further interactions so they can pull off their lie. And the better they get at this, the more they test to see how far they can push things, by climbing up the ranks of difficulty regarding the prey items they take down. This is much like I've mentioned before. Though narcissists aren't known to kill, or at least some claim this, but the more narcissists are able to convince others of their lies, the more courageous they get with what they are willing to attempt on others. They figure all of the horrible things they've done for the past several decades, they haven't been held accountable for them. They've always been able to shift the blame and lie their way out of things. So they become confident they can do the same trick with in regards to killing a spouse, or someone else in their life. And we see this play out in the news all of the time. And more than likely this is the case. They've built up this sense of confidence over years and years of getting over on people, to the point they feel like they are immune to being held accountable for any and everything. And they think they are such good liars they will be able to get away with it. This ties right in with this comment. Because though narcissists do often go after weak targets, because it's easy, and they can usually get what they want out of this person without much of a problem. But the better they get at such things, the more willing they are to tempt fate and go after bigger and badder fish. They truly see it as hunting. And when this narcissist or other toxic type can take down someone that is supposed to be brilliantly smart, it's like them extracting their brilliance and taking it for themselves as a trophy. As if to say, wow, this person was supposed to be so smart, and I was able to lie my way into their life, and totally turn it and them upside down. This gives the narcissist a sense of satisfaction. Not only did they ruin another human being's life, which we know narcissists and other toxic types live for, but they can wear it in their very essence like a trophy, or bear skin, or the head of a lion or tiger on the wall. Now to go back to why narcissists often as a rule go after easier prey first. Because most of those that have been abused before don't have family around that can see what's happening and can help. And narcissists love to isolate you all to themselves. And doing so with a previous abuse victim is a lot easier. Because oftentimes when this person meets a narcissist, they are already isolated to a degree. They have a very small social circle. They might not have one at all. And now all they have is this narcissist painted or dressed up to be a good person. Remember, predators always look for that stray animal that's walking alone. and finds his or her way away from the pack. It's a lot easier for a predator to come along and take out this animal, or person in this case, without issue. But there are those predators that get so skilled at hunting they do want a challenge, and they will take on someone that has more of a normal life, and that is successful in all areas of their life. And in this they call upon all they've learned. And in this they will be more patient than they've ever been, keeping their mask from slipping. And it's my guess if they are doing such a thing, they might have another victim on the side they can let their mask slip with. Because narcissists let their mask slip by accident. But they also let it slip on purpose. As if to say, this is what I am. And what are you going to do about it? That's right, nothing. Except cry and do what I want. So staying with a prime target that has it all together takes a lot of concentration and a lot of keeping up their act. A lot longer than they would with someone that has been abused before. But it can be done. And they do it. This is why this type of information is so important. Because if someone is brought up in a good home with love, and they meet someone that is showing these same traits after a long period of time of being nice, how are they to know they are a narcissist? Then if their mask slips, let's say 5 or 6 years later, what commonly happens with not just previous victims, but well-adjusted people as well? We get attached because of time spent. Time spent is the thing that gets us all, and the thing we must learn to let go of. But if someone doesn't know what narcissistic abuse is, and they've spent 5 years with someone, then the mask slips, they might be more willing to stay and attempt to work it out, because of time spent, which will only tighten the narcissist's hold they have over their life. Now the other part of the comment that was left on this video was in regards to more people knowing about this problem, narcissistic abuse, but sweeping it under the carpet because they don't want to become the target of abuse themselves by being the nail that stands up to call it out for what it is. Much like a bully that can mistreat another student and no one will help nor stand up for him or her. Not even the teacher. And when things boil over, somehow the victim is blamed. And this does happen a lot from childhood and through adulthood. And yes, this is correct. However, I don't think the average person understands the dynamics of narcissism. I think they just see it as surface level. This person is bad, and I want to stay out of their way. I've met people that have confessed to this. And they are real stuck in the matrix and they don't want to be bothered with the truth type of people. They can be nice and fun to talk to at times. But when push comes to shove and they have to throw you under the bus, to not become a target themselves, they will do it in a heartbeat. And in their words, they are just trying to survive life. And they are playing the game. And they feel like saying something won't change what's going on, or doing the right thing won't fix the situation. It will only make it worse. And it will only make it worse for them. That being said, those that have a good soul and spirit and live for what's right, when they learn about narcissistic abuse and narcissistic personality disorder, and how these evil demons are a part of everyday life, they can equip themselves and or their children how to navigate life in such a way they can still be honorable and can stand up for what's right, but not be in their crosshairs at the same time. Such as learning a trade where this child can grow up to work for themselves. Trust me, there are parents that put their all into their children's talents and passions. And I've seen it with my own 2 eyes. These kids grew up to be super successful working for themselves. Some of them have never worked for another person in their entire life. And the reason was their parents noticed they had talent in what they loved to do. And they helped them with that when they were little. And more than likely they knew from their own experience. When you are working for someone else, you have to deal with a whole bunch of nutty people. People you don't like. People that are liars, backstabbers, and those that are just plain evil. They might not know about narcissism, but they know about bad people in the workplace. And they see Their son or daughter is super talented at whatever they are talented at such a young age. They see it as their chance to write their own ticket. And yes, even if you are working for yourself, you still will come into contact with evil people. That's just life. But when you know you don't need another man or woman's money, and you can turn down this client and move on to something that is more meaningful, you don't have to deal with the horrible things many of us in the jobs we work have to deal with. So this information is so important. Also, this information is important because it not only warns us about the narcissist in the matrix, but those that protect the narcissist in the matrix so they don't become targets. It makes us more careful on who we should trust and what we tell others. Because in reality, and this is something I've learned, it's quite okay to not share everything you think and feel with everyone. Especially someone you work with. No matter how nice they are. The Bible teaches us we must guard our hearts. God knows there's always going to be someone around the corner looking to take us down. That's just the sad part of life. And that's why we are told this in the Bible. Most people are looking for an angle to survive and move their way up the ladder of life. And shaming or blaming an innocent person is often something that is done to accomplish this. So sad but true. But the more we learn this information, the more we can discern what's happening around us. Not everyone is our friend. And those that are our friends, we don't have to tell them everything. It's quite okay to keep things to yourself. To protect yourself. But I think the more this information becomes common knowledge, meaning, there is a name for what these people are. And there are people online and in normal reality that acknowledge there are a lot of people on this earth that have this problem. It might give courage to some to call out this problem for what it is. And will hopefully help out those that were the victim of such people to put their lives back together and find the worth that's within themselves. The worth you can't put a price tag on. Well, that's all I have for now. Thanks for the comments. I do appreciate them. Thanks to all of you for subscribing and sharing. And to those of you that haven't subscribed, please do if you feel so inclined. And click the bell to know each and every time I make a new video. Right now, I'm shooting for a goal of 200,000 subscribers to start. Because I want this information to be known. Because each and every day, I get new comments and messages saying, "Oh my God. This is my life. I had no idea." Or "I can't believe I've never heard of this. This is what has been happening to me in my home. Or with the person I was dating or married to." So this information is helping. No matter if it's videos I make. Or videos that others make. People are waking up. So the more you share, the more you are giving a chance to someone else out there to have the same chance you had. And that is a chance to heal and grow to no longer be abused again. That being said, keep eating from the tree of life. Keep praying for wisdom and strength. And until next time, bye for now. And be good to yourself.